different strategies. So I'm super excited to see what's going to transpire. I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, this is going to be a best of 5. So we might see a very we might see some cheesy builds coming out of it. PandaBearMe doesn't normally do that, but in a best of 5, when you want to get ahead, it's anything goes. They might pull out all the stops for this one.
Absolutely. I do think that cheese can be really strong, but you want to stick to what you know. You don't want to be the guy that comes into a tournament and thinks, oh, I'm playing in a best of X series. Now, that means I need the cheese. I need to mix in
Hey guys, welcome
back. You just want to stick to what you know, what you're good with. And I want to see that kind of exemplified in both these players.
Yeah, and so like we said before, it's just depending on the map too, because I believe we are doing map vetoes at the moment, so we'll be able to get a map list for you, and then we can definitely see who chose what map and what builds they possibly intend to go on. But it's hard to say at the moment because we don't know what they're going to do. But I'm pretty positive with PandaBearMe and his normal playstyle, he's going to be dropping Dash and Terminal is my first prediction on it. But he's going to keep those 4 spawn maps. The bigger maps, the better.
Okay, well, we don't know too much about what's going to kind of go down there, like you were saying. But you know what we do know about? The fact that BlizzCon is around the corner.
Yes.
I'm super excited to be there. This is the first BlizzCon I've ever gone to.
Nice.
I know you said you're going to be working there, which is like way cooler than what I'm doing. Is this your first one?
Yeah, so this is, as sad as it might be, I live in Southern California, about 20 minutes away from the Blizzard headquarters and about like another 20 minutes away from Anaheim. So I've actually never been to a BlizzCon, but I've always ended up working it either through ESL or whatever company
Cool.
putting it on. So this is my first BlizzCon that I'm going to, but I'm going to be working it, taking care of the WoW players. But I'll be there. So I'm actually heading out of town this Sunday to set up for everything, and yeah. So hopefully I'll see you there.
Nice, yeah. So I've actually been out to MLG Anaheim before, so I've been to the convention center.
Perfect.
And in retrospect, that was like a really poor decision, right? You get like, oh, MLG Anaheim, which is really cool, a big open bracket. You see lots of players do well that you don't always get a chance to see in offline environments. But it's like, fuck, I could have spent that money on BlizzCon.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So what year did you go for MLG?
2014. I went last year.
Oh, awesome, cool. So yeah, so I was there as well, and I was able to play in a few of the rounds.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I enjoyed it, but yeah, like you said, sometimes it gets kind of close to what BlizzCon would be. You kind of have to choose either one. I really, 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 really wish I went to BlizzCon last year to watch Metallica, but I was working for ESL at the time, and so we actually had another production to put on. So I ended up working the Master Chief Halo launch party.
Okay.
Instead, but I still would rather have seen the Metallica show. But yeah, so that's been great. Ooh, I like where this is going so far. So it is fun. So I'm just excited to be able to go and see everyone.
Yeah, and speaking of production, one thing I do want to point out in regards to production, guys, Draven has not died. He is not a completely still human that has mastered the art of just like freezing himself like a monk. That is a photograph. It turns out I am terrible at production, and that is why we are using a photograph, because I had to put this together on incredibly short notice, and I couldn't figure out how to get his Skype window in with my single puny monitor. I think we're getting invited to the game, which makes me a happy little Zergling. I'm not sure. I'm just going to wait on our absolutely wonderful admin, producer, king of general awesomeness, Hawkeye, who is being so great as to take care of all of this, who made these tough calls like running the semifinals tonight suddenly. It's a high-pressure situation. It's hard to be in, and he handled it really well. So a big shout-out to the guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed the picture that you guys have up of me. It's a buddy of mine at the RSL Studios took a picture with a nice camera. And I was like, you know what? I like that, But, so, I'm the master of staying still perfectly. So we'll get into these games momentarily. I need to get these games going. I'm super excited.
Yeah, Hawkeye is... I'm stuck on entering lobby. You know what? I'm going to log back out and log in. Nope, I can't do that. Battle.net is bugging. Okay, I just Alt F4'd because my Battle.net was bugging out. Welcome to the Comedy of Errors, starring me, Joe Laguitas, and Draven. The rival StarCraft League is around the corner, but until then, please enjoy this circus show of me trying to get StarCraft 2 to cooperate. Okay. If Hawkeye can re-invite me, or you could suggest me to lobby, that would be super awesome.
Alright. We're not friends.
Oh, crud.
Actually, you know your information.
Yeah, PLOG.
PLOG.
UIDICE.
UIDICE.
Yep, and then my character code is 901. If you guys want to add me on Battle.net, that's okay. Once again, sorry about these problems. Oh, thank God. There we go. Nope, that's not right. Here, I got this.
I should have just suggested it to you.
Yeah, just I'm gonna leave the party. Just suggest me to lobby.
I did, but I'll do it again. Nope. It says one of us. There it goes.
Okay. Entering lobby. Thank God! Guys, we are in the lobby and I am so excited to get started.
I don't know. How are you? What's your opinion on these new chat party mod things that Blizzard implemented in 3.0?
So I do think I think it's great.
Yeah.
It's absolutely awesome and wonderful. The only downside is, yo, can you tell PandaBearMe to go blue? Alright, great. Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's still a little bit buggy. But once the bugs are worked out, man, I think this is a beautiful system. I love getting thrown right into general.
Yeah, I mean, the system is very cookie cuttered from World of Warcraft, which I love their chat system. So, I mean, it could be fine tuned a little bit, but I absolutely enjoy it. I know it was on Reddit for a couple days, people getting used to it, but like I said, I'm used to it from World of Warcraft, so
well,
I like it.
We are getting into our first map. Sorry to cut you off there, but it is Coda Ellie, and I'm just super excited to get into this game, introduce our players. Our first map going to be a very standard one, and I think that's always fun to see.
Yeah, Coda is like one of my favorite maps. It's a pretty straightforward map, you know, especially when it's ZVZ. It's a little bit harder for players to take their third, or at least if it's like Zerg versus any other race. But so I'm excited for ZVZ. We should be seeing some great matches. I know PandaBearMe loves this map. So let me get the first player introduction spawning in the top left. It is our blue Zerg player playing in the best of 5. It is PandaBearMe. Understand.
And in the bottom right-hand corner, we have our red Zerg playing for Team Carnage. It is Namshar. Alright, so Coda, like we were saying, is kind of a fun map to start out on, because this is a map that's very standard. It gives both of these guys a chance to kind of feel each other out. It's a very well-known map. I think it's slowly kind of becoming the new Overgrowth, if that makes sense. Overgrowth, a map, of course, that was in our map pool basically forever. An easier map, kind of a more, not easier, but, you know, a comfortable map. Oh, but as I say that, Draven, look what Namshar has thrown down.
Yeah, this was kind of what I thought was going to happen. Best of 5s, you kind of have a little bit more leeway to do these kind of riskier style builds. When it's a best of 3, you almost don't want to. when it's the best of 5, if you could cheese out, a way to get a +1 in these games, there's no reason why not to put the pressure on the other person, and I'm kind of excited for this. And this is more of an early harassment as opposed to like a game-ending type build. But we do see PandaBearMe as, oh, what, is he going for a scout or is he going for the hatchery? Never mind. He's going for the hatchery, so he's not going to be able to scout this, and this might spell bad news for PandaBearMe.
Yeah, and one thing they were talking about in the lobby, I'm not sure if you got a chance to see this, was PandaBearMe said he's not really liking Heart of the Swarm right now. He had trouble practicing for this tournament, whereas Namshar said he's stoked and he's been practicing a lot. So I imagine this build is going to be very crisp coming out of Namshar, whereas PandaBearMe might kind of, his star sense might not be as good, but this Overlord now has passed over these first 4 Zerglings, and as these second to come out, he will have a good idea of what's coming, even if he hasn't been able to identify the exact build coming out yet. And it looks like these first Zerglings of Namshar are trickling across the map. Gonna go up this ramp right now and try to start getting some damage done. PandaBearMe at the same time has his spawning pool coming down, but is not done yet. The onus is on Namshar to get damage done in this scenario, guys. He's gonna send one Zergling up the ramp, giving him vision, while at the same time whacking away at this hatchery with the Zerglings on the low ground. If he can cancel this hatchery, that's gonna be a really good start for our Swedish Zerg player.
Yeah, so if he gets the cancel out on the hatchery, which is what he wants to do, PandaBearMe will have that economy though to start pumping out defenses. We do see a queen, we do see lings. So these lings coming in from Namshar definitely needs to start doing some more damage. We do see Banes coming in. If he gets good Bane hits, this might spell lights out for PandaBearMe, but that queen is going to pop here eventually.
And Namshar not droning behind this at all, guys. He is making more and more Zerglings, moving up this ramp. First Baneling coming in, looking for good hits, doesn't want to go off on these drones just yet. Zerglings starting into the mineral line, trying to get some damage done. Baneling moving towards the weakened drones, looking for anything that I can do. One hit, and these Zerglings will be able to clean up so quickly, but instead he pulls it back, using it to try to zone out any of these Zerglings that might be popping out. Queen pops, getting this around? No, not unable to is Namshar, but these Banelings are zoning out so much potential DPS from these drones, and I think Namshar is really starting to crack the defenses of our American Zerg player.
Yeah, he wants to save these Banes. He does not want to accidentally shoot them on the Zergling or anything like that. He wants to hit the drones. So he's just keeping those drones away from the mineral line, preventing him from mining at all. PandaBearMe has a few more minerals left to get these lings out, but they get a couple good surrounds on the drones on the ramp. And it's just, he's only got 2 drones left. I don't know, or excuse me, 2 drones mining. He's got about 5, but they're so weak. I don't understand how he's going to survive this. He gets called. And there we go. Game number 1 goes to Namshar in a quick pull fashion. And we kind of thought there were going to be some cheeses, and this is what happens.
Yeah, and not only was it very quick, it was very crisp and decisive. And I think that's very important when you're going into these kinds of games. Just executing everything really well, using the cheeses that you're comfortable with. And we saw Namshar really utilize that to great effect in that first map. And
Yes,
sorry, do you know what our second map's going to be?
If I was a better caster, I totally would have written everything down, but I am going off of pure guessing. But I do believe I have it. Let's go with... I mean, I don't know, man. I'm guessing at this point.
All right, not a problem. Surprises are always fun, guys. If you were a kid in a Western country, chances are you celebrated Christmas. And what's better than going under the tree, seeing presents wrapped up, and having that wonderful surprise?
I want to say... I believe the second map is going to be Bridgehead, if I'm reading this correctly.